What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I want to talk about student loan debt, and I did a video yesterday, and I mentioned this in the video yesterday. And when I did my video prior to getting this information, so it was kind of going on around the same time. But I want to give you the newest information when it comes to student loan debt. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. But first off, on this channel, we talk about financial news and what's going on in Washington, D.C. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's talk about this student loan debt, and let's talk about President Biden. President Biden was in a meeting yesterday. Now, this can affect 43 million people, okay? And he was in a meeting, and in this meeting, he was talking with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and he mentioned the student loan debt, and he mentioned the possible solutions, okay? So all that information we don't know yet. Right now, we're just hearing little things come out here and there. But let's talk about the problem first, and then let's talk about what President Biden wants to do to solve this problem. So I'm gonna look at some of this information. This is from CNBC. So currently, what we're looking at right now when it comes to student loan debt, it has been deferred. So people do not have to pay. So if you owe student loans right now, you do not have to pay your student loans. And we're talking about federal student loans. You do not have to pay your federal student loans until August 31st, and then you have to start paying them again. Okay, so it's under deferment. It's been this way for a very, very long time. But there's always been talk. You always had these progressive politicians, progressive Democrats that have been talking about, look, we need to cancel student loans. We need to cancel 10,000, 50,000. And so they're throwing numbers out there. However, as of right now, we do not have any details when it comes to an amount. So how is this affecting us all, okay? Because I used to have student loan debt. I no longer have student loan debt. I'll talk a little bit about that at the very end of this video. Okay, so let's talk about the effects. So borrowers have saved $200 billion since they started deferring student loans, okay? $200 billion is what they've saved because they haven't had to pay that monthly payment, okay? And this can affect 43 million Americans, and we're looking at right now the total cost. The total cost out there right now when it comes to student loan debt is 1.7 trillion, around 1.7 trillion. Just think about how much money that is. And that's all in student loan debt. Now, out of that 43 million, about 10 million are in default or they're in delinquency when it comes to their student loan debt. And so the White House, they've indicated that they will make a decision by August 31st. So August 31st, that is the deadline for the deferment. And so they're going to make a decision on how they're going to move forward when it comes to canceling student loan debt. And so that will be by August 31st. So we pretty much have a few months before they're going to have this decision come out. And so we'll have to see if this is true, if the president comes through and understand this. This is one thing that the president can do. This is an executive order that he can do. So this is not something that has to go through Congress, and we know how things work when they go through Congress. It takes forever for anything to happen, and sometimes nothing ever happens. And so this could be one thing that the president could say, look, I made this promise, I kept it, and move forward. So, and I think that's really what they're thinking about right now. Let's be honest. He's a politician, so he's looking at the polls, and he sees that his poll numbers are down. He needs to do something. This is something he single-handedly can do. Let's see if he goes ahead and moves forward with it. Now, the president hasn't given an amount. So, and this is even better because what we're hearing now is we're hearing that it could be more than 10,000, okay? And most likely will be more than 10,000. And in some cases, we're hearing people say that he's talking about canceling all student loan debt. So that 1.7 trillion, cancel all the student loan debt. And so this would be monumental if this does happen this way, all 1.7 trillion. But we also have to look at the reason why we're in debt. The reason why you have people going to college and getting in debt, and that is because the cost of college is just way too high. And that is a huge problem. When I went to college, it was very, very expensive, and I could not afford, even if I were working full time, I would struggle to be able to afford to pay for my college and go and work full time. It would have been a huge struggle. So I had to work part time, and I had to start taking on this debt. And a lot of people are just like me, the same situation. They don't have a scholarship, or they don't have parents to pay for their college, and so they have to pay for it on their own. And it's a huge problem, because schools just take advantage. They take advantage of you because they know that you need to go to college if you want to get a higher paying job in most situations, because all the school has to do is provide a school, make sure it's accredited, and as long as it's accredited, people go to that school, they pay the money, and so they can raise the prices as high as they want, because there's a need. People need to go to college, right? They need to get that paper. They need to get that diploma. And so that's something that needs to be addressed. We need to look at how colleges are just ripping people off, basically ripping people off and putting people in huge debt. And so that's something that we really need to focus on. That hopefully they'll focus on that in the future. President Biden tried to come out with the 2 years of free community college. That didn't really go anywhere, but they're really going to need to address this, because this is out of hand. And that's my biggest gripe when it comes to student loan debt. My biggest gripe is colleges just take advantage. They take advantage of the students. And that is really, really unfortunate. And now we're in a situation where we have all these people that are in debt. And so we'll have to see where the president goes when it comes down to it. But this is really good news. If you have student loan debt, this is really good news. And I think this can benefit a lot of people. And I know some of you are looking at this and saying, well, I have no student loan debt. Why should I care? This is something that can still help. Okay. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when we're looking at people that are in debt, we're looking at a situation where our economy is suffering because of that. And so let's say you're receiving Social Security right now, and we're in a good economy. That's good for you as well, because you have more people working, you have more people paying into the Social Security system. And then if you have more people paying into the Social Security system, then the benefits in Social Security will improve. And so it's still good overall, but everyone will have to pay this burden. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people are concerned about. And that's all taxpayers. It's not just taxpayers who have student loan debt, it's everyone. Okay, so whether you went to college or you didn't, you're still going to have to carry that burden. But I think in the long run, I think it will benefit all Americans. Now, the big problem is, if you wipe this out this time, what do you do the next time? Because colleges aren't just going to say, okay, we're just going to offer free college now. No, they're still going to charge, and they're probably going to charge even more. And so that's another important factor. How are colleges going to respond to this? Are they going to raise rates even higher? So we'll have to follow that as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about stimulus. As of right now, politicians still aren't talking much about any type of stimulus. Okay, so a few months ago, we started hearing talk that we might see a stimulus for businesses. We also started hearing talks of a gas rebate. But as of right now, politicians are really, really quiet when it comes to any type of stimulus. And so the only stimulus that we're hearing about are the gas rebates, but that is at the state level. We're not hearing about it at the federal level. So the main thing that we've heard in the last couple of days is the student loan debt. Okay, so that's what they're really focused on. And we'll see if they're going to start moving forward with some type of a Build Back Better plan, something similar to that in the future. But as of right now, we're still not hearing anything. So if you guys have any questions, please post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.